Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't today a great day if you're a Detroit Lions fan? I mean, come on, dude. 6 straight wins after that Week 2 loss against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're leading in the NFC North with a 7-1 record. I mean, we're just dominating our opponents. It don't matter if we're playing inside or we're playing outside in crappy conditions like we were yesterday in Lambeau Field. I mean, it was downpouring. There was like 40-mile-per-hour winds. That doesn't matter. We still got the victory. We beat the Packers, another road victory, division game. You know, obviously a few weeks ago we beat the Vikings on the road in a big win there. And then yesterday we went to Lambeau Field and beat the Packers. So big win for the Detroit Lions. I said on this podcast last week that was a must win for the Detroit Lions. They did not disappoint. You guys watched the game. It was awesome, man. So, yeah, I just wanted to start the show today, Guys Time of the Brides, by saying welcome to Detroit Lions Mania, because the Detroit Lions, I will say it right now, they are the best team in the NFL, not just in the NFC, okay? I mean, we got the AFC and the NFC, right? They're not only the best team in the NFC, because look at the NFC right now. Which team can compete against us? Nobody, right? Right now, as we speak today, the Lions are just dominating everybody. But the Detroit Lions are not only the best team in the NFC, but they're the best team in the NFL. Forget about the Chiefs. We're not worried about them. They might be undefeated. That's great. Defending Super Bowl champions, that's fine. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, great. Travis Kelce, great. Let me raise up the ante a little bit and let me do you one better. Jared Goff. And Sam Laporta and Amon-Ra St. Brown. We got a lot of stats to discuss with that, but I mean, right now, if the Super Bowl happened today, all right, the season's over, Super Bowl is today, right? Super Bowl 59. You got the AFC champion and the NFC champion. You got the Detroit Lions going up against, let's say, the Kansas City Chiefs, you know, because they're defending Super Bowl champions from last year. Who's winning that game right now? The Detroit Lions. I mean, there's no debate there. I mean, the Detroit Lions are the best team in the NFL, and they proved it yesterday, right? It doesn't matter if they play inside. It doesn't matter if they play outside. Like Dan Campbell said in the post-game interview with his guys, this is what we're built for. We can play in the rain. We can play in snow. We can play in the mud. It doesn't matter where we play. The Detroit Lions are going to show up. They're going to punch you in the mouth, and they're going to destroy you for all 4 quarters of football. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. So we got to talk about this, obviously, because I am very happy. The Lions have won 6 straight since that Week 2 defeat to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're on a roll, man. I mean, they just continue to impress us every single week, whether it's the running game, whether it's Jared Goff throwing more touchdowns than incompletions, whether it's Amon-Ra St. Brown being Mr. Reliable that he is, whether it's our defensive backs or secondary getting interceptions and making plays in crucial situations. It doesn't matter, dude. The Detroit Lions are for real. They are the real deal. The NFL stops sleeping on us. All right, we need more coverage. I want the Detroit Lions to be on ESPN. The first thing that they talk about should be the Detroit Lions. I'm sick and tired of hearing about the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm sick and tired of hearing about, you know, all these other teams that they want to talk about. The, you know, Lamar Jackson, the Ravens. You know, I'm done with that. Start talking about the Detroit Lions, Jared Goff, and what that team has done the past 9 weeks, right? Ever since, you know, when the season began. These 9 weeks, we've been dominant. Obviously, we had that blemish Week 2 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But since then, we're dominant. So we got to dive into this game just a tad, just real quick here. So the Detroit Lions winning 24-14 against the Green Bay Packers. Their 3rd straight victory at Lambeau Field. Before, from 1992, I saw this stat yesterday on Fox where they were showing the game towards the end of the game. From 1992 to 2021, so 30 years. We had a record of 3 wins and 25 losses at Lambeau Field. God awful. Like, Jesus. Disgusting. Like, you can't beat your rival on the road. We were horrible. Brett Favre kicked our ass for many years. Aaron Rodgers kicked our ass after that, right? But we turned the page. We've turned the page. 3 straight victories at Lambeau Field. First time that's happened since 1986 through 1991, where in that stretch, in that year span, we won 6 straight at Lambeau Field. So almost 40 years since the last time we had a winning streak at Lambeau Field. So our 3rd straight victory at Lambeau Field against the Green Bay Packers. It was nasty out and rain was coming down. It was windy. It really felt like fall. for real. I mean, it seemed like it too. I mean, it was nasty conditions. It doesn't matter. We won. So yeah, Lions win 24-14 against the Packers. They led at one point 24-3, held on to the victory. So that kind of worries me a little bit. We didn't score, since then, but it's okay. A win's a win. I've said it numerous times. I'll take it. And then Jared Goff. This guy has to be the leading candidate of NFL MVP. Who else is there? Maybe Derrick Henry? Maybe. But you know how the NFL is. They love their quarterbacks. But Jared Goff, he's got to be at the top. He has to be the leading candidate for NFL MVP. There's no debate. He's better than Mahomes. I don't care what anyone says. You can argue Mahomes all you want. Jared Goff is the league MVP right now as we speak, week 9 of the NFL regular season. 18 for 22, 145 yards, and a touchdown. See, this guy went from 85 yards last week against the Tennessee Titans when they blew him out 52-14 to 145 yards and a touchdown, beating the Packers 24-14, right? So Jared Goff again, proving that he's our quarterback. He's worth the $55 million contract we gave him, right? And then Jordan Love of the Green Bay Packers, 23 for 39, 273 yards and a touchdown. So he not too bad. Just a lot of missed opportunities for the Green Bay Packers. We'll dive into that in a little bit. The dynamic duo, the two-headed monster, or how we like to call them here in Michigan, you got Sonic and Knuckles, right? So obviously you can tell which one's which. Monty, David Montgomery, Knuckles, 17 carries for 73 yards. He didn't have a touchdown, but he still ran his ass off. Jahmyr Gibbs, 11 carries, 65 yards, and a touchdown. Isn't it crazy that these two have the same amount of rushing touchdowns? I mean, that's insane. They have 7 on the year. But we have the best running back system right now. I mean, I think we're the only one who has 2 legitimate running backs. I mean, either one can be a starter. Either one can get 30, 40 carries a game. I love how our offense allows both of them to shine, to show off their talent, to give us an idea of what they're all about. And we love it. I especially love it. But here in Michigan, in the city of Detroit, we appreciate it. So keep doing what you're doing. That running game is lethal. It's deadly. And a lot of great things are happening because of that running game. It's dangerous, right? I mean, it's our bread and butter. We've been a dynamic duo for a couple years now. Ever since we drafted Jahmyr Gibbs and brought David Montgomery over from the Chicago Bears. You can't touch that. You cannot touch that running back 1-2 combo. It's deadly. So now we got to go on the receiving side. St. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, my man, 7 receptions, 56 yards, and a touchdown on 7 targets. I said many times on this podcast, he is Mr. Reliable. Right there. All 7 targets, he caught the ball, and he scored a touchdown. We'll get into the stats in a little bit. Crazy stat between him and Goff. Another thing I saw on Fox yesterday when I was watching the game, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Jayden Reed, star wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers. 5 receptions, 113 yards on 6 targets, so he had a good game there. Kirby Joseph, another interception. This time a pick 6 off of Jordan Love. That guy is unbelievable. And then talking about Kirby Joseph even more, he has picked off a pass in the last 5 out of 6 Detroit football games. So this guy's an interception machine, right? This guy's everywhere. He's a ball hawk. He's unbelievable. Great player. Glad we have him here in the Motor City. But yeah, picked off a pass in the last 5 out of 6 games. That's crazy. That's unbelievable. Especially nowadays when you have quarterbacks throwing 50, 60, 70 yards. Kirby Joseph is doing amazing things here. And then it's the first safety to intercept at least 14 passes through his first 3 seasons in the NFL since the amazing Hall of Famer Ed Reed did it from the Baltimore Ravens. He did it in 2002 through 2004. I was a little kid back then when he was playing. But to have your name associated with a Hall of Famer, arguably one of the greatest, if not the greatest safety of all time, Ed Reed, that's unbelievable. But yeah, first safety to intercept at least 14 passes through the first 3 seasons in the NFL since Ed Reed did it in 2002 through 2004. Dude, we're doing everything. Offense is doing their job. Defense is showing up and making plays. Who's stopping us, man? Like, seriously, who is stopping us right now? I just said it a few minutes ago. If the Super Bowl happened today and we went up against, let's say, the Chiefs or maybe the Ravens, we're winning the Super Bowl right now. Who's stopping us? We are playing some great football. This is the best football I've seen in a long time from these guys. I mean, obviously last year, that was a magical year. What they did last year, the Detroit Lions, unbelievable, right? But dude, this year, they're on a mission. They're on a mission. They're winning. They have their minds are set that they're going to the Super Bowl and winning that, right? Aiden Hutchinson out for the year. Well, that's unfortunate, heartbreaking, but that's okay. We'll just keep winning, and they have, and they've won 3 games since he's been gone. And now I hear reports that Za'Darius Smith from the Cleveland Browns, defensive end, outside linebacker, is probably going to sign with the Lions at some point, either today or tomorrow. It's very soon, though. So add some depth at the defensive end linebacker position. So you have that going on. And then throughout the last 4 games, I just want to give you the stats. This is all from ESPN.com, by the way. In the last 4 games, the Detroit Lions have averaged 43 points a game. 43 points a game. I get it. It's the new and improved NFL. Teams are scoring lots of points left and right. But 43 points a game in the last 4 games? Dude, that's lethal. That's unbelievable. And it's the most points in franchise history that they in one season that they've done that. So this team is unbelievable. And then in 6 games too, in the last 6 games, we have scored 24 touchdowns and only have had 20 incompletions. That just shows how efficient and great Jared Goff has been. Him protecting the ball, scoring points, doing his job. He gets paid $55 million to do his job. It's crazy how you think like that, right? But 24 touchdowns to 20 incompletions in the last 6 games. Dude, I'm speechless. I don't know how does that not make us a major threat or the threat in the NFL? Like I said earlier, we're not only the best team in the NFC, we're the best team in the NFL. We're better than the Chiefs. I don't care if they're undefeated. I could give a rat's ass about the Chiefs being undefeated. I don't care about that. We would beat them. We beat them last year, first game of the season. Hey, I'm just putting that out there. So now we got to talk about this game a little bit. We went through some stats a couple minutes there, but yeah, the Lions in this game, big difference was converted 2 4th downs, which both turned into touchdowns. The pass to Amon-Ra St. Brown and then the Jahmyr Gibbs run, both on 4th down, both led to scoring drives, both led to touchdowns. Right, points on the board. It's amazing, and we've attempted and succeeded on many 4th downs. We have the most attempts and the most completions in terms of conversions rather when converting on 4th down since Dan Campbell's arrived in 2021. Dan Campbell or Dan Gamble? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. In this situation, especially when you're dealing with the outside elements, rain and 40-mile-per-hour winds, you would think, okay, let's take the points or play the field position game. No, Dan Campbell's rolling the dice. He's in Vegas. He's betting the whole house. And damn, dude, converted 2 4th downs, which turned into touchdown drives. right? Amon-Ra St. Brown catching one of them on fourth down, and then Jahmyr Gibbs running for a fourth down and one that led to a touchdown. Crazy, dude. Unbelievable. Brian Branch got ejected in this game. Okay, yeah, the hit, yeah, it was intentional. I will sit here and say, yeah, he hit him. He hit him in the head, neck, shoulder, head, neck area. He was unprotected. Did it subject to a disqualification or an ejection? I don't think so. I've seen worse hits than that, and guys only got the penalty and a warning, because they do warnings now. If you get like 2 personal fouls, you get ejected. But that was a little suspect. I get the 15-yard penalty. I'm fine with that. But to eject them the rest of the game, I don't think so. I think that was some BS right there. But it doesn't matter because that same drive, Packers missed a field goal. Brandon McManus missed a 30-something, a 40-something yard field goal. So they got no points out of that drive. So that saved us. We got lucky there. And then, as I mentioned, third straight victory at Lambeau. First time since 1986 to 91 where the Lions won 6 straight at Lambeau Field. And then, obviously, from 92 to 2021, we went 3-25. Huh, god-awful, dude. Absolutely disgusting. And then in the past 6 games, this is also according to ESPN.com, the past 6 games, Jared Goff has completed 82.8% of his passes with an 140.1 passer rating. Both are best over any 6-game period in NFL history. So all you Jared Goff doubters, all you people who think Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, all these guys are better than Jared Goff, right here, buddy. This guy's winning games. He's protecting the ball. He's making plays. He's throwing the ball downfield. He has a great offensive line. I mean, what more shit do you want to talk about him? This guy is unbelievable. We're glad to have him. Thank you, Rams, for allowing us to bring him to the Motor City. We appreciate you. Oh, man. So, yeah, the Packers, too. And this is a crazy one, too. The Packers outgained the Lions. 411 yards to 261 and still lost the damn game. That's sad, especially NFC North rivals at home. Crappy conditions. Yeah, you still lost the game. You outgained us by 200 plus, almost 200 yards, and you still lost. Crazy. But yeah, the missed opportunities, right? Like I said, the Brandon McManus field goal late in the second quarter. That same drive, Brian Branch got ejected, and then moving the ball down the field, you guys didn't score any points. 0 points on the board. You can't do that. You cannot do that in an NFC North rivalry game. You can't do that in the NFL in general, right? But this is a NFC North rivalry game. Lots on the line. Winner of this game is going to be the leader of the NFC North. Maybe a lot, down the line, maybe home field advantage in the playoffs, perhaps. Maybe. But you cannot do that. You got to score points, man. And then Green Bay drove inside the Detroit Lions 35-yard line without scoring. 3 times, I do believe they did that. You have to score. I don't care what it's like outside. You are professional athletes. Figure it out. Score points. You're going up against your division rival. You have an opportunity to lead in the NFC North with a victory. And you lose at home, too. A lot of Detroit Lions fans, by the way. I saw a lot of blue in those stands. So that was crazy. And then another thing. The Green Bay Packers had 4 trips into the red zone, which resulted in 1 touchdown and 2 field goals. You got to score touchdowns in those situations. I mean, we'll take points. But, I mean, you're playing catch-up at that point, right? And like I said, the Lions were up 24-3 at one point. We ended up winning 24-14. That really worried me a little bit because we have to keep scoring. And I get the conditions outside. I get it. And we won nonetheless. So I will take that. All right? A win's a win. We're leading in the NFC North. We're the best team in the NFL right now. I don't care what anyone says. That's fine. But we needed to score points when we're up by that much. Because down the line, that's not going to work, dude. So Lions, despite winning 6 straight, a big victory, a huge victory against the Green Bay Packers at Green Bay in Lambeau Field in those crappy conditions, we still won. I get that. but you have to keep your foot on the gas pedal, especially against a division rival, because we gotta play them down. We gotta play them down the line. They gotta come home. They gotta come to Ford Field and play us. When we're up by that much, we gotta keep going, and we're gonna be inside this time. So I want to go to. I mentioned earlier. I want to talk about the Goff-St. Brown relationship. These two are the best in the business, right? Jared Goff and St. Brown. And this is an article from the Detroit Free Press from Marlo Alter. This is what he saw. And like I said, I saw this stat on Fox when I was watching the game yesterday. So Jared Goff has not thrown an incompletion to Amon-Ra St. Brown since September 2020 or September 22nd of this year. So it's been over a month since Amon-Ra St. Brown, since incompletion has occurred between Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's insane. And as a result, Jared Goff has completed the last 30 straight pass attempts to Amon-Ra St. Brown. The last 30, not 1, 2, 3, or 10. The last 30 pass attempts. Jared Goff has completed the St. Brown without an incompletion. 30 passing attempts. That's unheard of. That's unheard of. What a crazy, unbelievable, mind-blowing stat. The last 30 straight pass completions or pass attempts, there hasn't been an incompletion between Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown. And you wonder why I call Amon-Ra St. Brown Mr. Reliable numerous times on the podcast? That's exactly why. These two are awesome. They're 1 and 2 combination, the dynamic duo, Batman and Robin, Sonic and Knuckles, whatever you want to call it. Joe Montana, Jerry Rice. I don't care. These two, Starsky and Hutch, for all the old timers out there. The last 30 pass attempts without an incompletion between Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown. And you wonder why these guys are getting paid millions and millions of dollars, right? You wonder why Amon-Ra St. Brown got a contract extension during the offseason. You're wondering why Jared Goff got a contract extension during the offseason. That's exactly why. They're making plays. They're unbelievable together. We're on that field. No one can stop them. They're both reliable. Jared Goff is making the passes. Amon-Ra St. Brown catching the ball. Unbelievable. And then according to NFL Next Gen Stats, so the probability of this even happening, a 0.0001% chance of this catch streak between Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jared Goff of happening. So nearly damn impossible that this is happening, according to NFL Next Gen Stats. Like, damn near impossible. But it's happening. And this is a large reason as to why the Lions are so successful right now. When you got guys who can make plays, such as Amon-Ra St. Brown, such as Jared Goff, you're setting your guys up for success so that you can score touchdowns, you can score points, and embarrass your opponent, punch them in the mouth, bite their kneecaps off, whatever you got to do. That's exactly why right there, because you got two great athletes out on the field. And then with that, it's tied for the longest wide receiver streak since 2016. Khalil Shakir accomplished that when he was playing for the Buffalo Bills. So it's been a while since we've seen this, but yeah, 0.0001% chance of this catch streak of happening. But yeah, the last 30 pass attempts, like no joke, I am not bullshitting you. 30 pass attempts from Jared Goff to Amon-Ra St. Brown without an incompletion. Crazy, dude. But that's the Detroit Lions, dude. Jared Goff has a great completion percentage. They scored more touchdowns than they've had incompletions. Defense is doing well. We're ball hawks. We're creating turnovers. We're playing smash mouth football. We don't care. We're winning We're winning games. Meaningful games on the road against your division rival in the NFC North. We're scoring points. We're setting all these milestones. And it's only week 9. Week 9, ladies and gentlemen. We still got 8 more weeks to go. Right? or not 8-9 more weeks to go. So you can only imagine what this team is about to do moving forward. It's so exciting. I love it. So you had that going on. I had to mention all that because that game was awesome yesterday. So with that being said, week 9 started off this week. Texans and the Jets. Jets won this one at home, 21-13. Jets were favored in this game. About time they won a game, right? All you New York Jets fans. The Cowboys, these guys, the third worst rush defense in the NFL. They've allowed 147.1 rushing yards in the NFL this year. And, you got Bijan Robinson running 86 yards, and you still can't stop him, right? But, yeah, the Cowboys have the third most rushing yards allowed, the third worst rushing defense in the NFL, 147.8, yards per game. That's god-awful. And they lost. And then you can see Dak Prescott say, we suck. Yeah, you guys do suck. And then you suck too, my friend. You are not a $60 million quarterback. And the fact that you guys could have had Derrick Henry, who, by the way, leads the NFL in rushing yards and rushing touchdowns. You could have had him, but you didn't want to pay him the money. No, let's just give the money to our overrated quarterback who can't win games when they matter, who can't win meaningful games against the Falcons, who are a good team. They're not great, but on the road, too. You have to win on the road, but you didn't do that either. So the Cowboys, overrated, junk, shut it down. Done for the season, dude. All you Cowboys fans, I hate to tell you, you're done. You're not going to the playoffs. You're not winning the NFC East. That belongs to the Washington Commanders just because they're kicking everyone's ass in that division right now. The Cowboys just shut down. So the Falcons won 27-21 in that game. The Bills surviving against the Dolphins. We knew this was going to be a close one. It's a division game, AFC East. Bills winning at home, and they're undefeated, 4-0. Josh Allen, 25 for 39, 235 yards and 3 touchdowns. See, that's the Josh Allen we love and appreciate, right? All you Buffalo Bills fans, have fun, enjoy. I mean, we play you guys later in the season. That should be an interesting game. So you have that. The Bengals winning 41-24. Yeah, the Raiders just shut it down. Another team that needs to shut it down for the rest of the year. But the Bengals winning their first home game this season. It took 9 weeks. It took a while, almost halfway through the season, but better late than never, right? Bengals winning 41-24. Joe Burrow, 27 for 39, 251 yards, and 5 touchdowns. And I get it, it's against the Raiders. They don't have a great defense, but 5 touchdowns, hey, that helped me out in my fantasy league. So thank you, Joe Burrow. I appreciate your services. So you had that. The Browns losing to the Chargers at home, 27-10. So Jameis Winston, hero from last week, beating and shocking the Ravens in a crazy upset victory last week. He threw for 3 interceptions. So maybe that's why you were a second-string quarterback, Jameis Winston. One and done. Done. Get out of here. Browns, shut it down. Chargers looking good though. Don't sleep on them. Justin Herbert, 18 for 27, 282 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So he looked good in this game. And then the Titans and the Patriots. This one went to overtime. Titans winning 20-17. Patriots, shut it down. You guys are horrible. The Titans are horrible too. And like I said, I picked the Patriots and I wasn't confident with it last week, if you guys remembered. And here we are. They ended up losing. Crappy game. I mean, yeah, I get it, went to overtime, but two crappy teams going at it. It's not really too exciting, but the Titans win that one. But yeah, Patriots, they're done. Shut it down. The Commanders winning in a close one. Once again, the New York Giants playing at home. Can they finally win a game at home? No, of course not. They're 0-5 at home this season. I mean, are they ever going to win a game at home? The Commanders come in and they win 27-22, a division game. But yeah, Giants, shut it down. They're done. They're god-awful too. 15 for 22, 209 yards, 2 touchdowns for Jayden Daniels. NFL Rookie of the Year, perhaps? This guy's looking pretty damn good. I mean, he is winning games. He's scoring touchdowns. He's doing his job. He's probably going to be the main reason why the Washington Commanders win the NFC East this year. But yeah, the Giants. Oh my God. 0-5 at home. It's week 9. We're going into week 10. And you guys haven't won a game at home. Like, those Giants fans should be getting free admission since you guys can't win a damn game at home. That's awful. 0-5 after 9 weeks of the NFL regular season. You can't win a game at home. Unbelievable. Pathetic. Disgusting. Yeah, those Giants fans, I feel for you, man. That's horrible. So yeah, that. The Saints losing 7 straight. They got rid of Dennis Allen, the head coach. Boom, he's out of here. Kicked his ass out of New Orleans. That guy's horrible. The Saints are just bad in general. And just to think, the first 2 weeks of the NFL, they led the league in scoring. 91 points after 2 weeks. And now they've lost 7 straight. So they started off 2-0. They're 2-7 now. 1-4 on the road. And you lose to the Carolina Panthers. Now, wait a minute. The Carolina Panthers, a team who just won their first home game yesterday. They were 0-3 coming into this game. You allowed the Carolina Panthers to win their first home game. It took them 9 weeks to win a home game, and you allowed them to win? And this is another division game. Oh, pathetic. Both of these teams suck, but the Panthers win, so that's good, I guess. Chris Olave took a nasty hit. I mean, it looked really bad. They didn't even show the replay. That's how bad it was. So hopefully he's doing better. Haven't heard anything on him yet, but hopefully he's doing good. But, dude, the Saints, shut it down. Another team that needs to just end the season because that's god-awful. You allow the Carolina Panthers, who can't decide on a quarterback as to who's going to lead us to victory this week, didn't win a home game coming into this game, and you allow them to get that home victory. Their first one. It took them 9 weeks to get a home victory. I mean, that's more than I can say about the Giants because they haven't won a home game, and it's been 9 weeks. So that's horrible right there. The Ravens and the Broncos. I thought this was going to be a closer game. I told you the Ravens were pissed off about last week. Yeah, it was just an off week. We have those, right? An off day, an off week. Nothing goes right. It's frustrating. We're all pissed off. But it's okay. The Ravens just destroyed, absolutely annihilated the Denver Broncos. 41-10. Jesus. Lamar Jackson. Here's the Lamar Jackson we love and know and appreciate, right? 16 for 19, 280 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. There you go. We love that about Lamar Jackson. But then we got to talk about the guy. You already know who I'm talking about. Derrick Henry. Another big game. 23 carries, 106 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He scored his 100th and 101st rushing touchdown of his career. And he surpassed 1,000 yards rushing for the 6th time in his career. And then, milestones everywhere, right, in this game. And then he scored every game. He scored a touchdown every game this season, right, which is unbelievable. That's why he leads the league in rushing with 11 rushing touchdowns. This guy's a beast, man. 6 foot 2 inches, 247 yards. He's not a running back, dude. He's a linebacker playing running back, and he's the best in the business right now. But he scored a touchdown every game this season, and he's the 3rd player to manage 10 rushing yards in 7 consecutive seasons. You know who he joins? 2 of the best I've ever seen in my lifetime. LaDainian Tomlinson from the Chargers. He did it from 2001 to 2009. And your guys' favorite, Adrian Peterson. That guy, one of the greatest running backs, I think all-around running backs I've ever seen in my lifetime. He did in 2007 through 2013. So, yeah. 3rd player to manage 10 rushing yards, at least 10 rushing touchdowns, in 7 consecutive years. And he joins an elite group of running backs. LaDainian Tomlinson did it in 2001 and 2009, and Adrian Peterson, 2 Hall of Famers, did it in 2007 through 13. So, obviously, Derrick Henry is going to be in the Hall of Fame in the near future with stats like these. He's the best running back in the NFL. There's no debate. This guy is a bull. This guy is so fun to watch. That whole defense needs to take him down, man. You're not going to take him down in the open field. I like to see you try. You're going to get your shoulder blown out, or you're just going to get absolutely embarrassed on national television. But yeah, Derrick Henry, he has 1,052 rushing yards, which leads the NFL. He has 11 rushing touchdowns. Again, leads the NFL. 6'2", 247 pounds. Had a milestone game. Scored his 100th and 101st rushing touchdown of his career. This guy's unbelievable. And to think that the Dallas Cowboys could have had him on their roster. Yeah, who's the idiots now, Cowboys? I mean, I think it's time for Jerry Jones to step down because I don't really think he knows what he's doing. He's an old man. Let him retire. Don't worry about football anymore, because the fact that you could have landed this guy and you guys didn't makes all of you look like a bunch of idiots. Look what he's doing with the Ravens right now. Right? I don't know. The NFL is a weird place. It's a weird organization. So you had that. Ravens winning 41-10. Absolutely annihilating and embarrassing the Denver Broncos. The Eagles surviving against the 2-7 Jaguars, who are 0-5 on the road, by the way. But the Eagles won at home 28-23. Jalen Hurts scored 2 touchdowns. Saquon Barkley, I don't know what the hell he was doing yesterday. He goes behind his back and jumps. It was very impressive. He went over the guy. But yeah, he was doing some kind of like gymnastics routine. I don't know what the hell he was doing. It was awesome, by the way. But he had 27 carries for 159 yards and a touchdown. Jalen Hurts had a couple touchdowns, 18 for 24, 230, 230 yards and 2 touchdowns. So yeah, there you go. They survive at home, the Eagles. 3-1 at home this year for the Eagles. So you had that. And then the Cardinals beating the Bears 29-9. So now we're starting to see the steep decline of Caleb Williams. First couple weeks, it's like, okay, he's a rookie. He's got to figure some things out. But then he's like, okay, there's a couple good weeks where he was actually playing some decent football. But now we're seeing why he is overrated, right? You scored 9 points in the NFL. You are professional athletes. You can't score double-digit points. Are you kidding me? You lose to the Cardinals, who are decent at best. 29-9. 0-4 on the road this year. Can't do that. When you're the star quarterback, when you're the franchise quarterback, and you only have 9 points to show for it, yikes. That's not good, dude. He didn't have a single touchdown in this game. He 22 for 41 for 217 yards. No touchdowns. Unbelievable. Yeah, that's not good. So Bears definitely need a reality check there. Lions, as I mentioned, 24-14, big win against the Green Bay Packers. We got the Texans next Sunday night in Houston, playing inside. Should help us out a little bit. Texans, a decent team. Not great, not horrible. A decent team. They just lost to the New York Jets, so they're a little pissed off about that. But with the run we have right now, the Lions should be an interesting game there. But the Lions winning against Green Bay, 3rd straight victory at Lambeau Field. First time they've done that since 1986-91 when they won 6 straight at Lambeau Field. So it's been a long time. It seemed like when I was a kid, every time we went to Lambeau Field, we couldn't work to save our ass at Lambeau. So big victory for the Lions. Rams and Seahawks, another overtime game, another division game. The Rams winning 26-20 on the road. Seahawks, man, they're going downhill. Not looking good. And the Rams, they have everyone back. Puka Nacua got ejected because he decided this was a boxing fight instead of a football game. He punched a defensive player on the Seahawks. He got ejected. But, Cooper Kupp, he was in. He was in the game. He played in that game. But yeah, Geno Smith, despite the loss, he still threw for 3 touchdowns and over 300 yards passing. Guy leads the league in passing yards. But you can't win the games, man. That's all that matters. You can put all the stats you want. You can throw all the touchdowns and all the passing yards you want. When you're not winning games when you're supposed to, it doesn't matter. But yeah, the Seahawks going downhill. The Rams, as I mentioned last week, don't sleep on them, man. Do not sleep on them. They're looking very dangerous right now. And then Sunday Night Football, this one was kind of like Vikings, Colts. I mean, come on. Let's find a better matchup for Sunday Night Football, right? Vikings won at home, 21-13. They lost 2 straight coming into this game, so a much needed victory for the Vikings. But it doesn't matter. The Detroit Lions lead in the NFC North. You just gotta love it, right? If you're a Detroit Lions fan, I sure as hell do. But then tonight, Week 9 ends with Monday Night Football. Monday, 8:15 on ESPN and ABC. You got the Buccaneers traveling to Kansas City. The undefeated Kansas City Chiefs. Well, the undefeated and overrated Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, let's be honest. Patrick Mahomes, yeah, he's Patrick Mahomes, right? One of the best quarterbacks of all time. He's proven it ever since he came into the league, ever since he became a starter. But, I don't know. I'm not really hyped about them. You're going against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're a decent team. I mean, yeah, you don't have Chris Godwin. I'm sure Mike Evans is still out with a hamstring injury. But you never know, man. That's a game that maybe the Chiefs struggle a little bit. I still pick the Chiefs to win because they're playing at home and it's the Kansas City Chiefs. But dude, I'm not really hyped up about the Chiefs right now. So then you got that game to end week 9. So that's week 9, right? An amazing week, another victory for the Lions. So all you Detroit Lions fans, especially here in the state of Michigan, in the city of Detroit, or wherever you are, let's rejoice. Let's have a beer. Let's have a great time because this is awesome, right? Can't believe it. Just keep doing what you're doing, boys. Just keep doing what you're doing. So yeah, week 10. We got to go into week 10 here. We got to do the picks for week 10 if this computer will allow me. Looks like my computer froze there, but yeah. There it is. There. Thank you. Thank God. So week 10, we got Thursday Night Football. We got the Bengals on the road versus the Ravens at home. I got the Ravens in this one. Derrick Henry, the best running back right now. You ain't stopping that guy. So I got the Ravens over the Bengals there. And then Sunday, you got the Giants at the Panthers. They're playing in Germany. So you guys going to wake up early for that one? 2 crappy teams going against each other? I'm not. I'll sleep in. Or I won't watch it. That's fine. 2 crappy teams. God. You know what? I'll pick the Panthers because I just don't trust Daniel Jones at all. So I got the Panthers over the Giants there. Patriots and Bears. Bears are 4-0 at home, despite Caleb Williams being an absolute joke. But the Patriots are even more of an embarrassment to the NFL. I got the Bears at home. I think they stay undefeated at home there. You got the Bills and the Colts. I got the Bills winning this one. They're playing some really good football right now. The Colts, I don't know. They just didn't look good last night on Sunday Night Football against the Vikings. So you got that. Broncos and Chiefs. I got the Chiefs winning this one. It's an AFC West division matchup. So anything can happen, right? It probably will be a close one because when you're going up against, the Chiefs a couple weeks ago, they went up against the Raiders and they only won by like 6 or 8 points. I forgot what the score was. And it's a division game. So this game between the Broncos and the Chiefs definitely have the potential of being a close matchup. But I'll take the Chiefs in this one. Against the Broncos. And then we got to talk about Sunday Night Football too because my computer is acting up and won't show me the rest of the schedule for week 10. But the Lions and the Texans for Sunday Night Football, right? We're on the road again. We got to play Houston at Houston. Let's see here. There you go. This one, I got the Lions. No brainer. The Lions, best team in the NFL right now. We're for the most part, we're all healthy. Jared Goff's playing his best football he's played in his career. You got the best offensive line. You got reliable targets. You got a great running game, and that's a thing a lot of people like to not overlook sometimes in this pass happy league nowadays. When you have a great running game, it gives your passing game a little break. And the Detroit Lions, they are the complete package right now. There's no debate on that. So I got the Lions beating the Texans on Sunday Night Football. And then we got the Falcons and the Saints in our division game. I got the Falcons in this one because the Saints are god-awful. So I got the Falcons there. You got the 49ers and the Buccaneers. That should be a really interesting game. I am going to take the Buccaneers in this one. I like them at home against the 49ers. 49ers are still pretty banged up. Really don't have any confidence in them. But the Buccaneers, they're playing some decent football despite them losing their top targets. Obviously Chris Godwin's out for the year, and then Mike Evans gonna be out for a couple more weeks with that hamstring injury. So you got that. Steelers and Commanders. I like the Commanders at home. They're undefeated at home. Commanders playing some great football. Jay Daniels definitely he's in the lead for Rookie of the Year, the Offensive Rookie of the Year for sure. They continue that success next week. So I got the Commanders over the Steelers. You got the Vikings and the Jaguars. I got the Vikings in this one because the Jaguars are god-awful. So I got that. Titans and Chargers. Chargers at home. I got the Chargers. The Titans are just not good. They do not look good at all. The Cowboys and the Eagles. So a classic NFC East matchup, a rivalry game. Cowboys are 0-3 at home. They haven't won a game. We're going to week 10 now, and they haven't won a game at home. That just shows how pathetic and horrible the Cowboys are. Eagles are 3-1 on the road. I got the Eagles in this one because the Cowboys are just god-awful. So I got that. Jets and Cardinals. I got the Cardinals at home. I think the Jets winning Thursday night against the Houston Texans was a fluke. They will struggle against the Cardinals on the road. And then, as I mentioned, next Sunday Night Football, you got the Lions and the Texans. Lions are 4-0 on the road, but the Texans are 4-0 at home. So a really good matchup there. I like the Lions. Like I said, man, they're the complete package right now. Best team in the NFL. I don't know how you stop this team. They are doing amazing things here. So I got the Lions beating the Texans. And then next Monday night, you got the Dolphins and the Rams. I like the Rams at home. Dangerous team. Definitely, everyone's coming together. Everyone's healthy. I got the Rams winning at home against the Dolphins next Monday night. And then the bye week, you got the Browns, Packers, Raiders, and Seahawks all on a bye week for week 10. So those are my picks for week 10 of the NFL regular season. So we got to jump over to college football now. We exhausted enough on the pros. We got to talk about college. So college, obviously, Michigan losing to Oregon. I think a lot of people expected that. Even I did. I told you guys that. Last week that looking at the schedule, I will be very surprised if Michigan wins another game. Like their next victory might be against Northwestern in a couple weeks. Because this weekend against Indiana, right? The undefeated Hoosiers. This isn't basketball. This is college football, may I remind you. And they're undefeated and kicking ass, right? Like who would have thought in college football that the Big Ten was going to be represented by Indiana, because of course you're going to have a powerhouse like Ohio State or Michigan, but obviously not this year for Michigan, but Indiana is going to be representing the Big Ten this year, right? They're undefeated, kicking ass. Good for them, right? It's good for college football. I'm not even too worried about it. But yeah, we got to talk about these rankings. Obviously, Oregon, number 1 in the country. Number 2 is Georgia. Number 3, Ohio State. Number 4, Miami. 5, Texas. Penn State at 6. Tennessee at 7, Indiana at 8, BYU at 9, Notre Dame at 10, Alabama surviving at 11, and then Boise State with Ashton Jeanty at 12. So Ashton Jeanty, this guy has the makings of winning the Heisman this year, and he will be the first running back to win the Heisman Trophy since the great, amazing Derrick Henry did it in 2015. In 2015, I was graduating from high school. Last time a running back won the Heisman. So, crazy stuff there. Or I just graduated high school, excuse me. But it's been a long time, nonetheless. But yeah, Ashton Jeanty, the game against San Diego State last Friday. 31 carries, 149 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, come on, man. You can't make this up. This guy is legit, man. And then on the season, he has 190 carries, 1,525 yards, and 20 touchdowns. For a running back in college football, That's insane. And I get it's Boise State, but dude, still unbelievable. So you got that. So if the college football playoffs start today, that would be your 12-team playoff right there. I mean, look at that. Possibly. Because, you got the conference champions. They all get a bye week, and then it's the best rank after that. I think that's how it is. We'll have to see. I think that's what I saw. But we'll see down the line. It's going to be interesting this year, the college football playoff. But those are the rankings for college football. But yeah, we got to talk about the scores from last week. Texas A&M went down. That was crazy against South Carolina. That was a big upset there. But yeah, as I mentioned, Boise State winning 56-24 Friday night against San Diego State. So Boise State 7-1 on the season, 4-0 in the Mountain West. They're looking really damn good right now. Oregon, number 1 in the country, beating Michigan 38-17. Michigan's 5-4 on the season, 3-3 in the Big Ten. Like I said, the rest of the schedule, it doesn't look good for the Wolverines. You got Indiana, you got Northwestern, and obviously you got Ohio State at the end of the year. I just don't see them winning, man. I really don't. Maybe against Northwestern, but that's about it. Florida and Georgia. So Georgia winning this one 34-20, the SEC matchup there. Ohio State surviving Penn State on the road 20-13. James Franklin cannot beat top 10 team. Same with Ryan Day. He has difficulty beating top 10 teams. He did this past weekend, but yeah, two coaches who needed to prove themselves, and Ohio State came out on top. So Ohio State winning that one. Miami winning against Duke. Duke was up 28-7 or 28-17 at one point, and then Miami just came out and fired on all cylinders. They woke up and started kicking ass. They're undefeated still in college football. 53-31 against Duke. Tennessee winning 28-18 against Kentucky. South Carolina beating Texas A&M at home 44-20. Texas A&M was not ranked 10th coming into this game. 44-20. Whoo! Talk about an ass whooping, dude. Yikes. And coming to this game, the South Carolina Gamecocks were 4-3. And the Texas A&M were 7-1 coming into this game. So anything can happen in college football. That's why you got to love it so much, right? Texas Tech winning against Iowa State. Upset, 23-21. Good game there. Iowa State was ranked 11th coming into this game. Indiana, undefeated, beating Michigan State 47-10. Clemson losing to Louisville 33-21. I think that was Louisville's first victory against Clemson, if I'm not mistaken. Ole Miss winning against Arkansas 63-31. Man, that's like a basketball score there, man. Army remains undefeated, beating Air Force 20-3. Army is 8-0 overall and 5-0 at home this year. So good for them. You gotta love it in college football. And yeah, that's it for the most part. Yes, Vanderbilt beating Auburn 17-7. I saw a stat. Vanderbilt beat both Alabama and Auburn. First time since 1956, I want to say, or 57. I thought I saw that the other day on social media, on the ESPN page. I could be wrong, but still, that's amazing. And then Florida State, yeah, that program's going to crap real quick. So yeah, that was college football week 10. So now week 11. We'll end the episode today with this. So week 11, we got Purdue and Ohio State. I mean, come on. How are you going to possibly advertise this? How in the hell are you going to advertise this? Ohio State's going to win this one. I would love to see an upset, but it's Ohio State, and they're playing at home. Yeah, done. Ohio State's beating the Purdue Boilermakers. No doubt about that. Miami and Georgia Tech. Don't sleep on this game. Georgia Tech could play upset. This could be a trap game, without a doubt. Miami wins this one, though. Florida and Texas. I don't know, man. Texas, after getting bulldozed by Georgia a few weeks ago, yeah, welcome to the SEC, Longhorns. You wanted to be in this conference, you're going to get your ass kicked. They're ranked number 5. I don't know. I feel like Florida can fight. in this one. I'll take Texas, but it's going to be a dogfight, in my opinion. Georgia and Ole Miss. I'll take Georgia in this one. Michigan, Indiana. Yeah, I can't go against Indiana. I'm sorry. And they're playing at home, too. Yeah, and now, like I said, Michigan, I'll be surprised if they win another game this year. Indiana's playing good football. Indiana will win that one against the Michigan Wolverines. Army and North Texas. Army's going to win that one. Colorado and Texas Tech. I got Colorado. I'll side with Primetime himself and his son, Shadir Sanders. South Carolina and Vanderbilt. South Carolina coming off a big victory against Texas A&M, and then Vanderbilt beating Auburn. Vanderbilt playing at home. I'll take Vanderbilt, the Commodores, to win that one. Maryland and Oregon. Oregon's going to win that one. Florida State and Notre Dame. I don't know how the hell this is a primetime game because, it's a rivalry game. Yeah, Florida State's 1-8. Like, let's be honest here. Get that garbage off of TV. They should put that on Peacock. Put something else on NBC at the 7:30 slot. But Notre Dame's going to win this one. Alabama and LSU, classic matchup here on ABC, 7:30 night game. I will take... You know what? I will take LSU to win this one. They're playing at home. Always a fun matchup between those two teams. I got LSU there. And then you got Washington, Penn State. Penn State trying to bounce back from that defeat against Ohio State. They will win against Washington. Boise State and Nevada. I like Boise State because Ashton GT is going to run all over Nevada's defense. Possibly win the Heisman this year. And BYU and Utah, I got BYU winning that one. So some big games next week. Check them out. College football. We got the pros. You got Monday Night Football on tonight. The Buccaneers and the Chiefs. Should be a really interesting one. Check that out. And with that being said, we're done for Guys Time to Rise today. So thank you for joining me. You guys already know the drill. The video version of this episode is going to be available on my YouTube page at Guys Time to Rise. So check that out. And then the audio version of this episode is going to be available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. It will be available there. And then, watch football, place your bets. If you guys are doing great in fantasy football, good for you. And, watch college football too. And then on top of that, Jared Goff. Go Lions. You guys are doing a phenomenal job. I am so happy to see the success coming out of the Detroit Lions. They're playing the best football right now. And like I said earlier in the episode, they are the best team, not only in the NFC, but the best team in the NFL right now. So with that being said, the Brise is out. You guys have a great rest of your day. Go Lions!